Okay, so a little bit of a fun one today, more about housekeeping, how to create things you can reuse, how to create your own buttons, that kind of stuff. So you can, when you're using the Rhino interface, you're going to find that, maybe you use circle a lot, and you use arc a lot, and you use rectangle a lot, and maybe line and circle. In fact, Rhino, I guess, knows what people use the most, which is why under the standard toolbar, those are up there the most. All right. So most people would use this. Maybe you don't need as many of this. Let's look at how you can do this yourself. So type the command toolbar.
Yeah.
Okay. And you can create a new toolbar. And I'm going to call it my toolbar. Okay.
Okay.
All right, we're in there. Go to the properties for it. I don't want to call it toolbar group. I want to call it Chris toolbar, because this is a group of toolbars,
yeah.
and I can have different toolbars in here. This is the first one.
Yeah.
I just want this one for now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay. The text on it is my stuff. It doesn't matter. Just play with whatever you want to do here, right?
Yeah.
This is going to say, what do you want the toolbar's button to look like? For now, let's just leave this alone at the moment. We go okay. All right, so we've got Chris's toolbar.
Yeah.
If you want to show it, you tick that on.
Yeah.
See? If you don't want to show it, you can untick it.
Okay.
This is the same with every other toolbar. Mm-hmm. So over here, remember I showed you before, you can pull a toolbar out and turn it on.
Yes.
That's exactly the same thing here. In the toolbar menu, if you want to see all the toolbars that make circles, sorry, it's on the other side of the screen, and I can't show it to you because I'm not recording that screen. Apologies. All right, so just trust me, the viewers of this, a toolbar opened. Okay. So again, you can go into my toolbar and you can turn toolbars on and off.
Yeah.
All right, so for now, I want to turn that one on.
Yeah.
I want to bring it out here. I'll make it a little bit bigger like that because we're going to play with it. And there's one default tool inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So now let's have a look at how we can use this toolbar. All right.
Yeah.
So let's say I use polyline a lot, and I want polyline in my toolbar. So hover over poly.
Yeah.
Press your control key, and you'll see that you can copy this.
Yeah.
If you hold your shift key, you can move it or edit it. Remembering that you've got two words up there. The left mouse will do move, the right mouse button will do edit.
Yeah.
Same when I hold control, I can copy it, or right click, I can link it. So I want to copy this one to here.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I've got a copy of this one. This one over here, I'll delete a little bit later. So I do want line, I use it a lot. I want the circles because I use it a lot. So I'm going to hold the control key, left mouse button, and I copy circle to here.
Yeah.
What else do I use a lot? I use split and join and and edges. I want to show edit points. So that one I use a lot. Okay, oops. Copy and put it down in there. Explode, we use a lot.
Yeah.
And join, we use a lot.
Yeah.
So anyway, you can keep doing this until you're happy. This one that's in here, you can make a custom. I'll leave it in there because we'll leave it for advanced tutorial, how to make your own tool. Right? But for now, let's just copy the tool. Text object is pretty useful. Move, rotate, scale. You can find whatever tools you want. All right. So now I'm going to take this guy and I'm going to just move it like this.
Yeah.
And I'm going to close it for now. Right.
Yeah.
So now we're going to go to options. Oh, hang on, I've got a toolbar and save it. This is a big mistake I make all the time. All right. We don't want that. We do want this. Where's my toolbar gone? All right. So while you've got it here, if you close Rhino without doing the next step, you've lost everything. File, save.
Okay.
Before you close Rhino. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to close that for now. Now I'm going to go to options.
Yeah.
And I'm going to look for the options for the mouse. Here.
Yeah.
Okay. And you would have noticed in everything we've done so far, you very rarely use your middle mouse button. You've seen us using the left mouse button. You've seen us using the right mouse button. You've never used the middle mouse button except to zoom.
Yeah.
But under your middle mouse button, you've actually got a button you can press down.
Okay.
So for the middle mouse button, pop up a toolbar.
Oh.
Let's find our toolbar.
Okay.
Where is it? It's in here somewhere. Toolbars, my toolbar, my stuff. There it is. There. and you go okay. So now when you're working in Rhino and you need a circle, you can just do this, pop out a circle.
Yeah.
Oh, middle mouse click, I want to draw a line. Middle mouse click, I want to explode the line.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so this is a quick way to group stuff under the middle mouse button for you to use. And you keep all your tools, don't have to keep looking for a tool. So a tool you use a lot,
Yeah.
after you've popped it, same as any other toolbar, grab it on its edge, now it's out, and you can bring another tool in there. So here's array, copy, etc. So this is, I call this housekeeping. It makes drawing faster and more pleasant because you're not running around the interface trying to find stuff the whole time.
Yeah.
All right. If you close that, doesn't matter because now it lives under your middle mouse button.
Okay.
All right.
Got it.
All right, so let's do, that was one little part about housekeeping.
Yeah.
Now the other one is creating constructs you can save. So with history on, create a circle from 0,
Yeah.
like this. I'm going to make it, I like to make these things, hang on, my grid snaps on. I like to make it exactly 10, and I'll show you why.
Yeah.
All right. And then I like to make a little profile on the end, the profile I like, whatever that profile may be. Let's say a square over here, and I like to make it exactly 1, so I'm going to turn grid snap on, like that, and I'm going to move it from the middle of that to that, and I'm going to do a sweep 1. By now you should know what a sweep 1 is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now this thing has history. So you can change the finger size of it, you can change the profile of it. So as you change that profile, the beauty, because it was 1, because I made it exactly 1, all right, is I can now go scale 1 dimensionally, 1D, scale 1D, from here straight outwards, so shift tab, all right, let me just turn off my grid snap. We know that it's 1, so if I want it to be exactly 3, I can type in 3, scale it by 3. Went skew, my apologies. And so now I have 3. I have exactly 3mm wide thing. And my ring updated. Anyway, so when you make constructs with history, I like to create a little folder. So save as. I'm going to put this, I'm going to play with it for now on my desktop. I'm going to make a new folder. New folder. My tools. And my tools, I'm going to call this band. Square. .3dm. All right? So now that I've saved that, if I ever need to make a band, I can just import that in and I'm back here. I've got a ring that was 10, so I've got to make a ring that's 16.8. I go scale from 0, we know that it's 10. All right, so I can scale it by 0.1 to get back to 1, and then I can scale it back up again. Scale from 0, and then my scale factor is 16.8. All right. Maybe it's faster to draw the circle. I don't know. I'm just saying that you have the ability now to bring out constructs as quickly as you can. All right. So if we don't break the history on this guy, you can quickly make a ring. All right.
Okay.
Let's talk about how you get it back in using.
So I can use this one as to resolve.
As a base, yeah. So not important. You may spend a lot of time building a head with history, which we're going to do next. We're going to build a little 6-claw head. And you don't want to have to go through all that work every time, so you want to start building a library. So see this little thing that I left open over there? We want to edit it. How would you import this file? So I'm going to go File and New. No, I don't want to save anything. I'm going to start with millimeters. Okay. If I wanted to bring that file back into Rhino, I could open it. But open would delete everything I have in my Rhino. It's saying I want to close what I'm working with now, and I want to bring in something new. Import will bring something into what you already have. Okay, so in this case we want to use import, so the command would be import. What do we want to import? We want to import this thing off my desktop. My tools, and I want to import band square. All right, so
no problem.
I'm going to put this in my C drive because it's going to be easier to make a folder. So let me go to my desktop and go to my tools, copy that, copy. Whoa, where are we? Oh, I hate Windows 11. C drive, C. Oh my God, my computer is so hard to find stuff on. C drive, I'm going to stick it in there. And by the way, if you're wondering how we use this, in the plugins, the cam team,
Yeah.
all their little constructs for making supports and everything. This is exactly how they do it.
Okay.
So anyway, so we've got in C, my tools, this.
Yeah.
So let's just copy that name for now. Okay, we're going to copy that.
Yeah.
Okay, and we're going to go back to our menu over here, and I'm going to shift. I'm going to hold shift. See that empty tool we made there?
Yeah.
You can make a new one if you want at any point. We're going to go shift, and I'm going to use the right click button because I want to edit that tool.
Yeah.
All right, the text on this one is going to be band square. Okay,
Yeah.
and you're just making your own icon and your own tool. So band square, on the left mouse button, import band. That's just a
Yeah.
pop-up tip, like when you hover your mouse over something, what's going to pop up. You could put something else over here, but for now we just want the left one. All right,
Yeah.
so the command is going to be import
Yeah.
C my tools band square. I haven't done this for a while, so let's hope that I haven't screwed it up. Is that correct? Let's give it a test. So now you click the button and you immediately, without having to type all exactly the same thing we did on the command line,
Okay.
import, find the tool,
Yeah.
So now to remind yourself what it is, I'd like to just maybe put that in rendered viewport. Let's put it over here. Let's put this viewport in rendered. Cell curve. Just hide for now. So it's going to be a very small icon, I guess, something like that. So now let's go there, hold shift, right click and edit.
Yeah.
We want an image. Let's edit our image. Okay.
Yeah.
You can either draw a band in here to represent your band.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to just file and clean that up. How do I clean? Oh my goodness, I can't clean it. Anyway, so we're going to go snap one. You can see a little preview of your icon there. There is a snapper over here. File, edit, grab. So you see a little grab over there?
Yeah.
It's going to open a square that's going to allow you to grab that image.
Okay.
Okay, it's not the best image ever. Right. Okay, but you can now click OK, and you can click OK, and so now in your tool menu, you've got a new tool. You've got a hover button that says import my band.
Okay.
And when you import it, back, your band's there. All your curves, everything you needed is there.
Get it.
All right. So now let's play with a bit of history and a line and a sweep and make a 6-claw collet. I'm going to, you know what? I'm going to leave this band out here. You got a question?
I tried the F10 yesterday in my own computer and the keyboard, and my F10 doesn't work. Is that because my keyboard?
Have you got a function key on your keyboard?
I don't think so.
Double check. Most keyboards have got a function key. So like on this keyboard,
Yeah.
if my function is set, my F9 will change the settings of my computer. My F5 will change my volume. Also my F2 and F3 will change the volume.
Yeah.
So if I press function and I do this, you see my volume is changing.
Yeah.
My volume is going up and down.
Yeah.
If on your computer that function key is locked,
Yeah.
you're going to not be pressing F10, you're going to be pressing whatever function is sitting under your F10.
Okay.
All right?
I have a look.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can double check your options in Rhino for keyboard. Keyboard, where are we? There we go. So the same thing. So F10 is, you could just set it up yourself. If you want points on another key, you can turn it on somewhere else.
Okay.
You with
Got
me?
it.
So the same thing, to import this band, you know, if you use the band a lot, you could say when I press F4,
Yeah.
import C my tools.
Good?
Well, I spelled that wrong.
Yeah.
You could put it under your F4 key.
Okay.
Okay, so now if every time you want that band, you can just press F4.
Got it.
All right.
Okay.
That's not a great answer. Sorry. So that's not a great answer. I will fix my F4 a little bit later.
Yeah.
So let's get rid of this for now, and remembering every time you need your band, now you can just middle click your mouse and bring your band out. Okay, so usually with my students, I'm going to build a knife edge solitaire, build a plain band, build a D-shaped band, the kind of things you're going to use the most. You know, you're always going to start a ring with a band, some kind of band. All All right?
Okay.
So when I say knife edge, you'll have to just Google for yourself a little bit over there. So because everybody calls it something else.
Oh, okay.
Knife edge band. So you see there?
Yeah.
It's kind of V shape, V bend.
Yeah.
So you've got all these kind of different bands you can build.
Yeah.
When you want to make a solitaire, you still need that knife edge band. So you bring
Yeah.
out the knife edge band and you also save your most common heads, which we're going to do now.
Okay.
All right? So I'm going to go back in here. I'm going to press F4 to bring that band out.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to scale it up to 16.8, which generally is going to, I'm going to pretend that 16.8, which generally speaking is, grab those two guys, I'm going to scale them together. Oops, no, don't be like that. Okay, let's delete this guy. And the similar thing you can do now, so let's fix this. Let's fillet the corners. Fillet corners 0.2. All right, that's better.
Yeah.
And let's scale the whole thing in a bit like that. How much is it? How big is the knife edge band? Normally like that, right? So you can take that, sweep one with this guy.
Yeah.
Okay. And okay. So now I've got a knife edge band there, so we can go back to our mouse menu and go inside here, and we can go new button. So all I did is I right click the background, right?
Yeah.
And I go make a new button for me. All right, so under the new button, our text is knife band.
Yeah.
Okay, tooltip is import knife band,
Yeah.
and tool will be import C:/my tools / we've got to remember we've got to save this thing, right?
Yeah.
Knifeband.3dm, and we want an image. I'm going to just make a shape like this that looks like a knife edge profile on a band. How you want to get to this image is up to you. Oh, that doesn't look good at all. Hang on, so that didn't work out well for me. Edit and go to grab, and you can even go Google images on the internet.
Yeah.
You can open Chrome, and let's see if we can find small images. Images, can we find a small image of a knife? Which would have been nice if you could grab that, wouldn't it? But I think your icons are too small. Can we make this smaller? Can we zoom it back a little bit? Control, small. Yeah, that might work. That might work.
Yeah.
All right, so you can use your snipping tool. Let's get Chrome. For the rest of you watching this video, you're going to have to just imagine what I'm doing, because I can't do it on the same page I'm recording on. So edit and grab.
Yeah.
And so now you can come over here and you can grab that band. And, and you can say that that's my picture for a knife edge band.
Yeah.
All right. C and OK. And OK. And then we've got to save this. Save as knife band. What did I call it in there? I did call it knife band, right?
Yeah, knife band.
Okay, so let's have a look at that import knife band. So if we delete this now. No, I didn't call it knife band. But didn't I save the file? Oh, goodness me, where did I save the file to?
So do you save the C, my toolbar?
Cancel. So let's go Control Z. Bring it back. File, save as. My tools, knife band. I did save it there. That's weird. I might have named it not well. It's copied exactly. Copy. Cancel. Let's go back to the tool. Shift. Edit. See, my tools knife band is correct. So that should be working. And save toolbar. Doesn't want to open it. And doesn't even find it.
That's odd.
That's very odd. F5, refresh. Okay, some weirdness happening over there with Rhino, so save as. Save it on my desktop.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Alright, it's the little things that'll catch you up, alright? Because remember we started with this on our desktop. Okay, so my tools on desktop, go to C drive. I want it in my root drive here.
Okay.
Alrighty, let's paste it in there.
Yeah.
We don't want to say that, we would cancel. Alright, so now you can pull out the flat band,
Yeah.
or you can pull out the knife edge band.
Yeah.
And so you can start making a library of all the things you're going to use all the time.
Yeah.
So for now, for today's lesson, we get a really simple one. I'm going to bring out the knife band.
Yeah.
That's going to be my base I'm working on. Now,
Yeah.
I don't have to worry drawing it. I can always play with it later, edit the curvatures, make the band bigger, wider, because when I did this, I had history on it, remember?
Yeah.
All right, so what we're going to do for today is we're going to build a little 6-claw collet.
Okay.
You can find stones on the internet. You can download them. For now, we're just going to model one quick and dirty.
Yeah.
All right, so circle, a 1-carat diamond is 6.5 mil.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to take that. I'm going to copy it once. Shift downwards just a little bit for a girdle.
Yeah.
I'm going to copy it upwards a little bit for a table. And I'm going to create a point for the culae. So I'm going to point at 0 and just copy it downwards a bit. Something like that. You do need to be a little bit more precise than this, or hopefully download some stone models.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to use a loft to produce the diamond.
Yeah.
We're going to loft from you to you to you to you.
Yeah.
And press enter, and we want straight sides, straight sections.
Yeah.
Okay, and we just cap it to close it off.
Yeah.
All right, if you want it to look more diamondy than that, hold 1 second. So apologies for that. All right, so if you want to make this look a little bit more diamondy, I'm going to make a copy of this, all right? So Control C and Control V. This is very dirty, all right? And this is only if you really can't find your own models anywhere.
Yeah.
You can use the mesh command to make a mesh, all right? So let
Yes.
me explain something about Rhino, which I think is primary for you to understand. There are NURBs, there are surfaces. These
Yeah.
are mathematical expressions of what this thing looks like, but you cannot see them. In the real world, this is what NURBs looks like. You see these lines?
Yeah.
To be able to see them, Rhino has to draw a mesh over them. The mesh you're looking at now is a render mesh. So if I did this and I went extract render mesh, you don't have to worry to learn these tools. You would probably never ever use them.
Yeah.
This is the mesh that Rhino is using so that you can see what the NURBs look like. So if you see here, this mesh that you're looking visually, your eye is seeing down here, looks nothing like that. So these lines, these isopalms that you're looking at, this is mathematically how Rhino made the surface.
Yeah.
For your eyeballs to be able to see it, because this is in wireframe mode, this is literally what it looks like. But you can't, you want to see what the part looks like. So internally, Rhino creates a mesh, which your eye can then see. So if you go to rendered mode, you'd see that these two things are identically the same. All right.
Okay.
Don't get too worked up about that.
Yeah.
Just know that you can manually control your mesh, and you will have to control your mesh when you start doing 3D printing. All right.
Yeah.
So if you made a rubbish mesh, you'd get a rubbish outcome. So I'll show you what I mean by that. So let's go mesh.
Yeah.
All right. I use a very tight mesh for when I'm doing 3D printing, and I'll show you what that looks like. So that's a lovely tight mesh. All right. And it's mostly already got quads in it, and it's the quality of what I'm going to print versus what I see is identical. So now, let's leave that one over there and show you the bad mesh. So I'm going to go mesh, and I'm going to go to simple controls. Where's my simple control? Here we go. So refine mesh, simple planes, packed. Oh, there we go, simple controls. So you can make something with lots of polygons. Let's do it this time. So there's heaps of polygons according to Rhino.
Yeah.
All right. Let's run the command again, or you can make it with very low polygons. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So let me move that out there. So you notice something about the one with very low polygons? It kind of looks diamondy.
Yeah. Okay.
You with me?
Yeah.
All right. Or you can control how many polygons you want, and you can get really down and dirty on it. All right. So Rhino's default meshing is rubbish. In my opinion, it's fucking garbage. All right. I wouldn't use that mesh. It's all over the show. It's messy. I would prefer to control my mesh, which is the first window that you saw. For you, for now, this is probably going to be okay. And if you were like really pedantic and you want to sit playing around making a diamond, you could go in the top view of that mesh.
Yeah.
You could turn on its points, And so I'm going to take that point, I'm going to snap it onto that point over there, and then I'm going to, and you're changing the look of the diamond, but you don't really care. What you want to do is render this thing, all right? So if for render purposes, if you wanted this to look like a diamond, it looks a lot more diamondy than this.
Yeah.
You with me? It's dirty, but it'll work. For now, let's ignore that. Okay, and all we wanted in this case was a diamond, because we're going to make a collet. So there's a little diamond, we want it about there somewhere. For this customer, we delete the constructs we made the diamond from. In fact, probably if you're going to do this over and over, so let's go Control Z a second time, remembering that there's history on these components, right? So you could take that and change where the there's no history. I wasn't recording history when I did this. Because I capped it. All right, because I capped it, I broke the history. Okay, so never mind what I just said there. Let's bring the stone up. Like that. Something like that. Let's delete this nonsense over here. And now we're going to start making a 6-claw collet. Just one. We're going to use history, do array polar, which is a slightly new tool to you, one of the array tools. So we can continue using this guy. All right, so we think that that's right about the height we want. We're going to go in the side view here. I'm going to start drawing what I think the prong should look like in this direction, and it's going to taper into there. So I'm going to use, I guess, a circle up the top here, something like that. And that menu started to annoy me, so I'm going to get rid of it for now. And I could have just drawn a circle there. I forgot my other tool. So I'm going to say that I think that a prong, normally when you're going to set, 1/3 of your prong should be over the stone. So if this is the size prong you were intending to make, that's the end of your girdle. 1/3 of the stone, roughly, should be in the girdle for your setting to be put. 1/3. 1, 2, 3. Divide in your eyeball. Divide the circle into three sections, and put 1/3 of it over the prong, like that.
How to divide? Like
just by eye. You can just by eye. I mean, there's half of this thing. All right. If I said put half of it in, you'd go there. If I said put 1/4 in, you'd go about there. If I said put 1/3 in, you'd go about there. It's roughly.
I mean, you've divided from this way or this way?
This way. Sorry. This way.
Okay.
Roughly about 1/3 in.
Okay.
Yeah, right. So you want to go in about 1/3 there, and we can have another circle down the bottom here, which is going to be on the edge of our snap over there, and we're going to pull it out. So we're going to come in about here. Let's pull that up off the finger size. So the finger size is under the bottom here, I believe. Let's have a quick look in the side view. Yep. So we're going to bring the prong in to about, we're going to bring the prong in something like this. Like that. We're going to come up, and we're going to come down, we're going to come in, we're going to come over, something like that. So I'm going to lock everything else we don't need to use for now. Just going to type the word lock, and that means I can no longer accidentally grab it. All right. You can grab, there's 2 different ways you can, remember, there's not 2 different ways, there's 100 different ways you could choose to draw this. Rhino is I'm going to turn off center snap because it's busy annoying me. Quad, mid, near can come off. So I'm going to go to that quad, I'm going to go to this quad, and I'm going to draw an arc like this. And that's going to give me more or less a guide of where I want to be. I'm going to do the same thing from that quad and to this quad here, and I'm going to do that. Yeah, it looks good to me. All right, then I'm going to turn on the edit points for all these guys. I'm going to pull them up a little bit. The reason I'm pulling them up a little bit is the setter is not going to say thank you for giving him a thing at the finished size. The setter needs a little bit of metal so he can actually set the job. All right. So the setter's going to take this component and he's going to push it over the stone. So always give yourself, for the manufacturing model, pull yourself up at least a little bit higher than you see the top of the table of the stone. Bring the prong higher than the table at a bare minimum, and some setters like our setter wants even a bit more than that to give him leverage. All right? But this is something you have to learn, not in the design phase right now, but as you get experience drawing and working with our setters and our manufacturers. So that gives you about there, and then I think I'm going to bring it out a little bit like that, and I'm going to bring these 2 points out a little bit like that, and then I think I'm pretty much happy and okay with that. I feel like it's a little bit fat at the top, so I'm going to grab all those points, bring them in, something like that. All right, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
So now we can split and trim. Well, just trim, sorry. And trim away all the bits we don't need.
Yeah.
I remember yesterday this corner. We're not in, so let's press enter. Let's bring that guy up. Something like that, and make sure that guy's in. Yep. Alright, so now we can trim again. Let's trim. Let's get rid of you. Now remember to double check your ends.
Yes.
That you haven't got these little loose bits floating around there.
Yeah.
Alright, do the same up here. Make sure you haven't got any problems here, and go check the same over here. Can you see? If we hadn't checked and you try to extrude this, you'd have a problem.
Yes.
Go check the other end, and we've got the same thing here. Okay,
Yeah.
you see it? Get rid of one of the two.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm going to press enter. So now we have a more or less construct that we want. Okay,
Yes.
so I'm going to join all of those guys together. Alright,
Yeah.
4 curves joined into one closed curve. That's important.
Okay.
If you don't see that message, something went
Yeah.
wrong. If it says 4 curves joined into 2 open curves,
Yeah.
or 4 curves joined into 1 open curve, if you see the word open,
Yeah.
you've got a problem, right? It means
Okay.
something over here didn't work. All right, then a little bit, remember in the beginning lessons we said try to have as few points as you possibly can. So you see over here we've got duplications of points.
Yeah.
I'm going to delete that point over there, I'm going to delete that point over there,
Yeah.
delete that point over there. And so with this point I can control quite organically what I need, all right?
Yeah.
I dump that point over there. I dump a couple of these points on this end here too. Okay. I don't need that point there, and I definitely don't need that point there. All right, so what I'm doing now is we got the shape we need more or less correct using those circles and the sacrificial circles.
Yeah.
So now we're just trying to reduce this down to as few points as possible. The less points you have, the more easy it is to control organically the shape. And let's just do that.
Yes.
There. You know, I say that and I made a really ugly thing there, so let's undelete that point. Give me a second. Sometimes things go sideways on you. Welcome to the world of Rhino. Okay, I think the first point we're going to do here is rebuild this guy. All right?
Yeah.
So let's rebuild it. We had 11 points, so let's go to 12 points.
Yeah.
See what we get. That's no good. So a rebuild's not going to work for me either, so I'm going to cancel. Sometimes you just got to say it's good enough. All right, so I'm going to take that. Remembering that we're working around a center point.
Yeah.
I think we're okay for now. I would have ideally liked to not have that point there, but every time I delete it, I get a really ugly thing going on there. Let's see if we can fix it. Can I insert a point? Insert point on this curve. No, I can't. I can insert a knot. No, I don't want to insert a knot. Control Z. All right, welcome to Rhino. So
I have to make sure this part is a little bit over, isn't it?
Well, we're going to use history, so it doesn't really matter.
Okay.
All right, so that the point of this lesson is that we're going to use history.
Yeah.
So we're going to grab this guy. In the side view, I'm going to extrude it. Do it like that. Okay. So I think that prong width is probably okay. All right. And so now we're going to do a new command you haven't really played with. In the top view, we're going to do array. Remember we did array and you could make something copy in multiple copies in every direction?
Yeah.
All right, so like you could array this. Array is the same as saying lots of copies by a fixed distance. So in X, I wanted to make 10 of them. I only want 1 and 1, and my copy reference point is this. So I can quickly copy 10 things. All right, I'm going to press escape. I now want to copy it around the stone. So that's an array, a polar array. You know, the world has got a polar cap, a north pole and a south pole.
Okay.
It's the center axis of the world. We want to array around the poles. All right? It just means axis, array around an axis.
Yes.
All right, so array polar, this one here.
Yeah.
Okay. The center of the polar array is going to be 0.
Yes.
Okay, and this is viewport dependent. So this confused you yesterday, so I'm going to start again. If I started this command in this view, it's going to array around here. If I started it in this view, it's going to array around here. If I started in this view, it's going to array around here.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to show it to you wrong first. So I'm highlighted in this view.
Yes.
Type array polar.
Yeah.
Select the object. U, great. 0, great. And I want 6 of them.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
I'm in this view,
Yeah.
I've got the wrong array. All right.
Yeah.
So I want to do it in this view. So make sure the viewport's highlighted.
Yes.
Array polar.
Yeah.
Select the object. It's you. Press enter. The center of it is 0.
Yes.
Okay, and number of items is 6.
Yeah.
All right, so now we have a collet. All right.
Yeah.
But I think that collet looks pretty fat and ugly, so I'm going to go back to the original curve.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to, in this viewport, maybe have a look at it like that. And I'm going to go, this looks, it's too round. I want to come in a little bit closer to the stone, so I'm going to grab those 2 points. Because we lofted with history, we changed this 1. And
Yeah.
because we arrayed with history, all 6 of them are changing at the same time for us.
Okay.
All right, so we do that, and I'm going to bring this one in a little bit narrower like that. I think that'll look too fat, and then I'm going to bring this one down and in like there. Okay, I'm happy with that. All right, so I feel like my setter would be happy with that.
Yes.
But for this, I need to save, I need to show the customer a render. So the customer's render needs to be down here. Because if you show the customer render here, they go, why is it going to poke? It's going to hurt my skin. Why are the prongs so long? All right, because they don't understand we need this for manufacturing.
Okay.
All right, so you've got 2 different models that you need. So the one that the customer is going to see, you're going to need that point in. It's going to come out like this, and then it's going to look like it's set on the stone.
Yes.
All right, and that point is fucking killing me. I hate it. Can I get rid of it? Yes. All right. So that will be the one you'd send to the customer. It looks like that.
Yes.
And you could save this out as render collet. So
Yes.
at this point, you'd highlight these guys
Yes.
with all the history. You'd export them
Yes.
to our tools folder.
Yes.
My tools, where are my
The
tools?
first
My tools, and I call this
6
6 claw collet. You know that you can change it, so I'm not going to make render version or manufacturing version. You can just save this as 6 claw collet. Okay.
Collet means?
Collet is just my call. Some people call those claws, prongs, collet, setting.
Okay.
Welcome to jewelry, man. Everybody makes up their own names. All right, so I'm going to copy that because we're going to need it in a minute. So copy.
Yeah.
And save it. All right, now let's bring our toolbar back up.
Yeah.
Let's open it out a little bit more.
Yeah.
Let's copy this one and make a copy of it down here, and then I'm going to go edit that copy. All right, so I'm going to shift.
Yeah.
I'm going to edit that copy, and we're going to call it that thing, 6 claw collet, and I'm going to change the writing over here to 6 claw collet.
Yeah.
And we're going to grab a little image of it. I'm going to. You can't go file new. That's really annoying. Edit, clean, clear, shift, rotate, flip. Clear. There we go. Clear. All right. So just for expediency's sake, I'm going to draw a 6 claw collet.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. So so we've got a little 6 claw collet over there. We've got the right name. We've got it saved in the correct places. We did save it in the correct place, right? I did. Yeah. All right, so now every time I need 6 claw collet, I can do that. So I need Control Z, so I can delete the 6 claw collet. Yeah. And when I need it, I bring it out. I've got to remember that curve is my controller curve. Yes. And now very quickly, if I had a bigger stone or a smaller stone, I can pull those parts out. Voila, I don't have to redraw it every single time.
Right, you're right.
Okay. Yes. So similarly, if you didn't want a square collet, all right, so I'm going to delete this one here. We're going to keep the same constructs on the screen. Yes. If you needed a round claw collet with an under bezel or something like that, you would start with a circle. So I'm going to start with a circle from 0. So in this view, something like that. It doesn't really matter the size for now. We're going to pull it up underneath the stone. So that's going to become our under gallery. Okay. Yeah. And then we're going to get an arc with a handle. This guy over here. We're going to start from about the top quad there and to about here. I'm going to kind of pull it out. All right. Then we're going to pipe this guy.
Yes.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And something like that. Work out with the team what they like as a standard. Oh, by the way, let's make our let's make our ends. Oops, I've got to do that again. Pipe, when you start the pipe, make sure your cap, in this case you want a round cap.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to do over here something like that, and I'm going to make it maybe a little bit smaller over here.
Yes.
Press enter. So now
This way is easier.
if you need it round. If you need it round.
Okay.
Right. So you can grab the point over here and you can play with that pipe. So
Yes.
the same thing we did before. All right. So you can grab that point and you can move it and round. But very few people actually like this type of collet. All right. All right. Then so same deal. You can pipe this. You can make it smaller. Something like that. Press enter. And if you need to change that, you just move the curve you did it on, and you can scale the curve bigger and smaller. And so you've got this guy inside there, all right?
Yeah.
Then your last step would be to take the pipe, not the curve.
Yeah.
Take the pipe, array polar. Okay, center of the polar array is 0.
Yeah.
In this case, maybe you want 6, maybe you want 4,
Yeah.
maybe you want 3, maybe you want to save out as 4, maybe
Yeah.
you want to save out as 3.
Yeah.
So if you're going to do a 4-claw collet, for example, you take this guy,
Yeah.
and its curve. All right. We're going to rotate them around 0 from here, Shift Tab,
Yeah.
and we're duplicate that in place, did I? Right, so let's grab it again. This guy. Rotate around 0. First reference point is this, and then the next reference point is 45. Rotate it exactly 45. All right. So the
Okay.
history is now broken on that, but we're going to create new history with this guy.
Yeah.
So we're going to take this guy and we're going to go. What the fuck are they doing next door?
Polar array.
Polar array,
Yeah.
still 0, but this time we need 4. Okay. To make a 4-claw collet.
Question. Why we need to rotate? Why we just do array polar?
There's nobody in the world makes a 4-claw collet with an end clause here. Just a design thing. I guess there are people that do it, but it look pretty fucking ugly.
Okay, got it.
All right, so everybody does it there. Oh, there's
Yeah.
somebody who does it the other way around. Do that? Yeah. So there's one person on this whole page that
Do the
doesn't
12 o'clock.
that does a 12 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
Most of the world does it
Do-
at this angle.
Okay.
All right. So, and it's just a design concern. You could have made
Yeah.
it at any angle. So this
Yeah.
one you might want to save out as a 4-claw collet. Then you
Yeah.
come back in and you rotate it back, and you also make a 6-claw collet. So you
Yeah.
go Control Z and Control Z, oopsie, Control Z, and from here you then go do an array polar around 0 with 6,
Yeah.
and you got a 6-claw collet, and then
Yeah.
save that out.
Yeah.
Then using the constructs you use with history, create a 4-claw and a 3-claw and a 2-claw, and when
Yeah.
you need them, you just pull them out at high speed.
Okay.
Then you don't have to struggle every time to do this. You just go in there, find the original curve, change your parameters. It was a much smaller stone, it was a much bigger stone, it was a wider
Yeah.
stone, whatever it was.
Okay.
And quickly reproduce stuff. All right.
Okay.
Okay, so that was a
I
bit of a
think-
fun
yeah.
lesson today.
I think a pipe is very functional too. Pipe.
Assuming you can find somebody who likes a round collet. See here on the screen? Square.
Yeah.
Edge like the first one I drew. Edge like the first one I drew. Square. Square. Here's the first one that's actually round. Very few people like, yeah, there you go. Very few people like that blue. It's not in vogue. Nobody likes it. But for the people who do like it, yes, it does become useful. Like there, you could use it. Yeah.
These are round, right?
These are round, yeah.
Okay.
See, not round, not round, round.
Okay.
So it depends. Most people are going to use, if you look at a standard, I don't want to say their name.
Yes.
All right. We'll get to this one in the next lesson.
Yeah, this one.
Well, there's an under bezel, and then this is made by a boolean. You can't do this the way that we've been doing it so far. So for this one, you've got a couple of booleans, but you can also use history.
Okay.
Right? But that's like the most requested collet in the world.
Yeah.
It's not round, and pipe is not going to help you. But yes, for
Okay.
these kind of things, it is quick and easy. It's a dirt cheap trick.
And they are already joined together?
No, once you join them, all your history is gone. If you take these things and you Boolean them, so let's go, where's my curve? Did I delete my curve? There we go. So that's why you save it now, before you do that. All right? So if we bring that in and they're all touching and you go Boolean union, and they are now together, so Boolean union. It's going to have a problem, I think, because we're all touching there. Boolean union broke history on 7 objects. Now this thing, you take that curve, do what you like, it's no longer attached to anything. The curves are moving, but this is not.
Okay.
This is now dead. Okay, so this is how a lot of drawers draw. They draw dead, and then every time they're going to draw a collet, they're going to start again from scratch, and start again from scratch. So before you break the history, save your component.
Okay.
Because then you can just bring it out when you need it,
Okay.
and you can play with it. So now, same as this, they're not joined. So you can bring this up, move it around, get it ready for your setter.
Yes.
Okay. When you're ready to go to production with this, it looks crap. So what you would do is you would just delete these guys, all right? Because we now know that we're good.
Yes.
And you come on this guy and you do a fillet, make everything look nice. So you do a fillet edge. I think about 0.2 is going to be fine. I'm going to grab all these edges and hopefully it doesn't break. I'm not going to grab all those edges apparently, so I'm going to grab that. Let's grab you and you and you and you. Yeah, it didn't work for me. All right, so this is a good example of why you don't want kinks. All right, see that kink? When I try to do a fillet, it breaks my fillet. So let's have a look at the curve in the side here and see if we can fix that once and for all. So let's delete the surface that we made. Let's look at this curve. And so it actually is important that you try not to have kinks. Remember I was saying in the beginning of the lesson, you try to have no kinks if you can help it. So there's a kink, and there's no other kinks. So now let's rather play with this curve and get it as clean as we can without those kinks. All right. I think that's about all right. That's about all right there. I think that's okay. So no more kinks in this curve. All right, so now when you try your fillet, you're not going to have those problems. Let's just bring this in a little bit like that. All right, so if you extrude this guy now, and that thing that just happened now, by the way, catches a lot of people, and they don't know how to deal with it. All right. The problem is if your curves are messy going in, you're going to have problems forever. Try to get your curves as clean as possible. You can see now there's no kinks in the surface.
Yeah.
Anyway, so now when you do a fillet, grab this.
Yeah.
Oh, there's still a kink in there. How did I miss that? Why have I got a kink in there? Might get away with it though. Alright, so let's try it. You and you. You should just have one. You see this?
Yeah.
Means I've still got a problem going on there. See where it broke? Okay.
Yeah.
So my input curve is horrible. Something's not okay with it. So let's have a quick look. Rebuild. Let's do that. Let's rebuild it down as low as we can. Make sure there's no kinks in it anywhere. Click OK, and now let's start fixing. Thank you. Bring you up closer to give me a bit more of a hard edge. We're close there. We're close there. All right. So the time you spend, the extra bit of time you spend in the beginning of any job, making sure that your curves are good.
Yeah. Otherwise, you have to fix it later.
Will pay you back. Yeah, it will pay you back 100-fold to make sure you draw properly in the first place.
Yeah.
All right. So and again, that's a problem you're going to have with tools like Matrix, etc. It's not looking after this for you. And then when you get 2 hours into a job and you're trying to do booleans, and you can't figure out why the booleans don't want.
Too many.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can't figure out why the booleans don't want to work.
Okay.
Somewhere in your original curves, something went very wrong.
Yeah.
All right. So let's try that again. Let's delete this nonsense. Extrude that guy again. I can't begin to tell you enough how important it is you look after your curves and have as few as possible. All right. So go fillet edge now. You're hopefully finding only one selection. There we go.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Better.
And you're also not going to have a Boolean problem with this guy.
Yeah.
Now in the real world, the bottom of a prong is always fatter than the top of a prong. What tool would we use? the bottom is normally fatter than the top. Normally it tapers towards the top.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I gave you a tip over there what tool we're going to use, right?
Okay, yeah, taper.
Right. Remember, we want flat on, so we want to taper from, I don't know, from there to somewhere above the prong. Not really important in this case. We want flat equals yes, because we only want to do it in here, and we want to taper it in something like that. All right.
Yeah.
So if you really like this and it's a 1 carat thing and you're happy with where it is, you can grab this guy, you do your array polar.
Array polar.
Around 0. And you're done.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
As soon as you did this fillet, it means that this part no longer listens to that curve. You would have got a warning saying that the history is no longer valid. So if you change this now,
doesn't change.
nothing's changing. So you'd have to
Only
go back,
curve.
extrude again, fillet again.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the tool that we learned yesterday.
Cage edit.
So you grab just that one prong. Cage edit. You could have even used bend, doesn't matter. After this point, that history on the other one's still there. Sometimes it's handy for you when you have this construct. I make a little layer.
Yeah.
History. And I put my history objects on it and I make them like a bright color, something like yellow. Okay?
Yeah.
And I move just this prong, the one that the history was made from.
Yeah.
Change the object layer to here. So that when I want to change this, if you change this prong, look what happens. You broke history. Because the history was made from this one.
Yes.
All right. So this, if you change this one, all of them listen.
It's fine.
So what I do normally is I create a history layer and I say that this prong, anything in yellow, is the thing that history was made from. So that you don't lose it, because it can happen quickly that you're working here and you think it's that one and then you break your history by mistake. All right.
Okay.
So for this guy, if you wanted to, you could use stretch from here to make the prong a little bit taller. You could use bend. Remember the tools we learned yesterday?
Yes.
From here to bend it over the prong a little bit.
Okay.
Many different tools you can use now without breaking the rest of that history. So you use the curve to get you as close as you can in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then after that you can play with the rest of Rhino's tools.
Okay.
All right?
Yes.
I stopped that recording for today.